Get a strong advocate on your side. You need Rufo Associates. Visit rufolaw.com. That's RUFO law.com.
At Domino's, we're more than pizza, so mix it up with our specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, medium two-topping pizzas, and more for just $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough crowd.
You can also mix it up with Domino's salads, marbled cookie brownie, bread twist, and medium two-topping pizzas. Order any two or more for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Bone-in wings, handmade pan pizza, and bread bowl pasta. Be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Price, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
This is the Delaware High School Basketball Game of the Week. You're listening to the iHeartRadio pregame show on Fox Sports 1290.
Welcome back to Hodgson, where the Silver Eagles are getting set to tip off against the St. George's Hawks. This is the Fox Sports 1290 pregame show here on iHeartRadio. John Busby, along with Marty Sheehan, Ronnie Vickers, producing back in our Newcastle studio. It's time for our star player to watch, and it's brought to you by Concord Pet Foods and Supplies, a family-owned company that's proud to support high school sports. With 29 locations, there's bound to be a Concord Pet near you. ConcordPetFoods.com. And our player to watch tonight is St. George's Junior Bones Highland, who's on our Fox Sports 1290 schedule poster soon to be coming out and available at all the games we do. As Marty mentioned, he scored 50-plus the other night against Howard and is averaging 30 points a game, an exceptional guy, and only a junior. As Marty said, there's no such thing as out of range for Bones Highland. He is our Concord Pet Food and Supply star player to watch. Now it's time to take a look at our Wilmington News Journal top 10 as player introductions are getting ready to be made. We'll go through it kind of quickly. We thank Brad Myers for doing this every week. If you don't read Brad's stuff, make sure you do. He's a great sports writer. He knows more about high school sports than anybody in the state of Delaware. A new first-time number one team for the first time this season, Marty. Cape Henlopen comes in at 9-2 after getting a win in a rematch against Smyrna.
Yeah, they've had an incredible season. I don't think anyone at the beginning of the season looked at Cape Henlopen and said, yeah, there's your number one team come mid-January, but that's where we are. Again, as you said, they took down Smyrna, a great win over Sanford at Sanford, which never happens. They fell to a really good Harvard-Westlake school at the slam dunk to the beach. They have impressive wins over Dover, over a pretty good Delcastle team. This is a team that really looks primed to make a run. Every time it comes up and you look at a game and say, well, this might be the game where they stumble, they haven't. They look really good.
William Penn comes in at number 2, Smyrna number 3, St. Elizabeth, your school, Marty, number 4, and then there's Sanford at number 5 at 4-4, but don't let those 4 losses fool you.
No, Sanford's one of those teams we talked about in the first segment where Stan Wooderman loads up against the out-of-state schools. They played 2 very good teams, one from Maryland, one from South Carolina at the Governor's Challenge over the holiday break. They did fall to Cape Henlopen, which was a little bit of a surprise at the start of the season, but again, not something we've seen unusual. They fell to Friends early in the season last year before coming back and going on an incredible run. They just recently posted an impressive win over Sally's and a blowout victory over Tower Hill, so they look to be right back on track as they start the conference season.
Salesianum comes in at number 6, stays at number 6. They're 5-4 open with 4 wins. They've got a big one against St. Mark's tomorrow night. Caravel, who we will see next Tuesday, they come in at number 7, up 2 from number 9. Their 2 losses are the tough teams, Smyrna and Cape Henlopen, and also a team from Maryland for their 3rd loss. They have a win against this St. George's team tonight. Sussex Tech, the only new team in the top 10. In fact, the only new team in the last couple weeks. They come in at 9-2. Cesar Rodney at number 9. St. George's at number 10 at 7-4. Mount Pleasant out despite a 4-overtime win against Delcastle. It's time for the national anthem here at Hodgson. When we come back, it's the Silver Eagles against the Hawks here on Fox Sports 1290.
People's Plaza, the place to eat, shop, and more, is your one-stop tax-free shopping destination with plenty of free parking. With over 83 retailers, restaurants, specialty shops, and professional services, People's Plaza has everything you need in one location. People's Plaza is minutes from Maryland, Wilmington, and Pennsylvania, located in Glasgow near the intersection of Routes 40 and 896. People's Plaza, eat, shop, and more. They do have it all. Also online at peoplesplaza.com.
Holidays are over. You spend all that money on great gifts for your loved ones, tinsel and luxury cars for your spouse. But now it's January and you have to eat. So take whatever little money you have left, remove the big bowl from your premium sedan, and come to Arby's for new buffalo chicken tenders, beef and cheddars, and more of your favorites. Mix and match 2 for just $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Got an itch to win? Scratch it every Monday at Capriotti's Sandwich Shop. Stop in at one of our 7 locations every Monday and grab your Capriotti's scratch-off card. You can win a free drink, free chips, free dessert, or even a $20 gift card. Every card is a winner. Available at Capriotti's locations in Newark, Hockessin, Kirkwood Highway, Middletown, Smyrna, Bethany Beach, and Kennett Square. Remember, every card's a winner on Mondays at these Capriotti's Sandwich Shop locations.
High school basketball is on Fox Sports 1290. This is the Delaware High School basketball game of the week.
Welcome back to Hodgson, where the Silver Eagles are set to take on the St. George's Hawks. Your starting lineups are for the Hodgson Silver Eagles: John Ray Davis, Terrell Clements, Corey Doran, Jaden Waller, and William Haynes. For St. George's, it's Nashawn Bones Highland, Tyrese Owens, Ahmad Taylor, Joe Rinarelli, and Mike McCants. We've got 1 senior, 5 juniors, and 4 sophomores in the starting lineup. It's now time for our Keys to the Game presented by Arby's. We've got the meets. Marty, your thoughts on the key to the games tonight?
You know, the big key to the game tonight for me is going to be the ability of Hodgson to kind of hem in at Nashawn Highland and force him to use the 4 supporting players out there. They've got a good supporting cast, but so far this season they really haven't had to step up. And the key is going to be, can they force, if you can keep Highland away from the three-point line or keep him as far back as possible, you lower his chances, drop down his shooting percentage, force him to dump off to guys like McCants, Vashawn Wharton, some of the bigger guys down low. Really looking for some of those guys to step up as we get into the meat of the season here.
It's going to be Taylor jumping up against Haynes, and it is Taylor that wins it for St. George's. We're on the baseline, so they're coming at us in their all-blue uniforms with the green trim, and a jump shot from the corner by Tyrese Owens goes in and out, and down with the rebound is Taylor for St. George's. Just tipping off here at Hodgson. A three-pointer by none other than Bones Highland gives them a 3-0 lead for Hodgson.
St. George's, they've made a living. They're averaging 12 offensive rebounds a game. They did it there on the first possession. Highland, top of the key, left unguarded.
And there is a pickoff by Highland and a quick dish off to Owens, and off the front of the rim, no good. Highland's tipping it around, and Rinarelli comes down with it. He gets it out to Taylor at the top of the key. They get it underneath to McCants, the big guy in the middle. Up and under, no good, but Rinarelli comes out with it, and again, Taylor takes it back out front. St. George's with a 3-0 lead on Highland's three-pointer, and a little jump hook inside from the low block of Highland, and it's 5-0.
And we see it again. Highland had the steal. He came down, dished it off. It was missed by his teammate. It's left to Highland to clean it up again. Has all 5 points to start off.
And Doran for Hodgson going the other way, right to left, or away from us. Almost another turnover as Highland got his hand on the ball and went out of bounds. Actually, it was Owens, I think, that got his hands on the ball, but it's going to remain Hodgson Silver Eagle ball. They trail 5-0. They're in their all-white uniforms with the maroon trim, and the give is in the middle to Haynes, and he puts it up no good. Tipped up by Waller, no good, and it comes down, and coming away with it is Davis. A little floater in the lane is good.
Davis with the little teardrop shot there. That was a great example of what I said about the toughness of this Hodgson team. They kept working and working until they got the offensive board.
And Highland's got it. He's being guarded closely by Doran. Goes right around him, and a teardrop of his own, and it's good. So Highland with all 7 of St. George's points. They've got a 7-2 lead, 6:20 to play here in the first quarter. Doran has the ball. He takes it up. Highland goes for the strip, misses it, gets it to Davis in the corner for the Silver Eagles. Back up top, and it's overthrown, and it ends up getting picked up by Clements. Clements launches a 3 from the left side, and it's far too long and out of bounds. Waiting for the call. They're going to say it's going to stay Hodgson ball.
You know, one of the underrated parts of St. George's game is their defense. They got a lot of length out on the floor, guys with long arms. They disrupt the passing lanes of other team, and already they're making Hodgson throw the ball away, throw the ball beyond the intended target, really disrupting the flow of this Hodgson offense.
Wharton's going to check in along with Millwood, so Coach Rod Griffin wasting no time getting the subs in here with less than 2 minutes to play. Hodgson inbounds from underneath its own basket. Davis has it on the right wing. He gets it out front to Corey Doran, the senior, only senior on the floor for Hodgson. And Clements gets it over to Davis. Davis with a left-handed dribble puts one up at the foul line off to the right side and put up back by Haynes. No good. And Highland comes away with the ball. He's got it at the top of the key. He dishes it over to the right side, and that's Millwood, who just checked in and dribbles out of bounds. Going to be Hodgson ball.
Amazingly, Millwood, the only senior on the St. George's team. You talk about hope for the future. This St. George's team is just going to reload, not rebuild next season.
And that's what they've done all 5 years under Coach Rod Griffin. Hodgson ball trailing 7-2, 5:25 to play left here in the first quarter. Doran has it up top. He gets it over to Clements, who's on the left wing. He whips it across to Davis on the right wing. Davis gets guarded by Highland. He gets it up to the top of the key. They work it around, and it's in the hands of Clements. And a jumper by Haynes from the foul line comes off the back of the rim. Out of bounds, going to be St. George's ball.
You know, Hodgson's getting their opportunities. St. George's is in kind of, it looks like a 1-3-1 zone a little bit. Hodgson's been able to penetrate inside. They just haven't been able to finish. Some disruption from the taller St. George's players.
Highland's got it. He gets it inside to McCants. McCants goes up and is fouled. Ball comes off the front side of the rim, but he'll go to the line and shoot two.
That's just brilliant positioning by McCants. By the time they got him the ball, he had already backed his defender down to about 6 feet away from the basket. He simply turned around, laid it up. I'm sure he'd love to have that layup back, but he leads the team, McCants does, with a 74% free throw shooting percentage.
20 of 27 from the line. The first shot is up, and the Marty Sheehan announcer
there you go.
Off the front of the rim. So he'll try to make the second one here. St. George's with a 7-2 lead, 4:56 to play here at Hodgson Votech High School. A great crowd, or a decent crowd, I should say. It's not great. Great would be sold out. But everywhere you look, there are fans in the stands as McCants misses his second. So it's going to remain 7-2 as Corey Doran, the senior, brings it up for Hodgson. He gets it over to the left side to Davis, and a nice job there in the corner, keeping it inbounds. But Highland picks the ball off, and it's 1-on-none, and he lays it in for the score. And he now has all 9 of St. George's points as the Hawks have a 9-2 lead almost halfway through this first quarter. Doran has it for Hodgson. He drives through the lane, scoops it up and under, and good.
Really nice job by Doran. He got around Highland, then kind of went up and under McCants and laid it in. Very nice.
And there's Highland with a 3, buries it from the left side.
They are just not going out beyond the three-point line. I'm guessing they're afraid to get beat on the inside, but Highland is setting up right outside of three-point land and knocking them down.
When you have the 6'6" McCants in the
it's
lane,
tough.
And he's a good free throw shooter, that makes it even tougher. And Eddie Chavez, the coach for Appoquinimink, is going to take a timeout. We will keep it right here. Incognito Productions is the premier sports filming company in Delaware, shooting, editing, and creating sports films for teams and individuals. Incognito has you covered with recruitment and game films, plus team documentary-style highlights, films, and posters. See for yourself the top quality of Incognito Productions by heading to nknfilms.com today. So, Marty, really no surprise, 12-4 lead. Really no surprise if you said that the one kid's going to have all the points. Bone Highland is the one you would consider would be the case.
That's exactly it. I mean, right now, Hodgson is not committed to going out there and getting a hand in his face in every possession. They're going to have to make that change. Now, again, as you said, you kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't. You get beat on the inside, you get beat on the outside. By the way, this Hodgson crowd is known as, they call it the Zoo Crew, and I'm really impressed. A battle of a top 10 team and an 0-17, they've really turned out for this.
Yeah, they have. You can see, you can kind of tell most of the fans in the stands are Hodgson fans. I'm sure there are some St. George's fans here as well, but plenty of Hodgson fans on hand as their Silver Eagles have the ball, trailing 12-4. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. And that is Doran taking a jumper from the left wing, a two-pointer, but it's good.
Doran looks really good. We've seen him on tape knock down a few. That time he's being kind of left unguarded at the top of the outside of the three-point circle, and he's really made St. George's pay.
Highland gets a pick from McCants, can't take advantage of it, then drives right by Doran, scoops it up with his right hand, no good. Tipped around inside, a battle on the ground there. A scrum. It's going to be a jump ball, and it'll be Hodgson ball. So a nice hustle there by both McCants and Doran, who were on the ground tying it up.
As I said, Hodgson's going to make these guys earn everything they get. They're doing it so far tonight. You know, Highland, that time, there had to be 7 bodies he needed to get through to get to the hoop. He did it with seeming ease. Couldn't hit the layup, but he got through.
Doran's got it. He gets across the timeline, gets trapped, manages to get it off to the side. Over on the left side is Clements. He's got the ball. He gets it back to Taylor. Driving in the lane is Clements. Scoops it up and good.
Clemens, a really nice drive. Again, now that time St. George's again. It kind of looks like a hybrid 1-3-1, 2-3 defense, but Hodgson is finding some seams in it, making their way through, making St. George's pay.
And now Taylor has it, and he tries to get it into McCants, who's guarded closely by Waller, and they're going to call a foul on Jaden Waller, his first and the team's first.
Jaden Waller's got to do a better job of pushing McCants out again. That time McCants setting up right on the right outside the block, inside the lane. Too easy for him to just turn around and lay that up and in.
Josh Thomas checks in for Jaden Waller, and taking it in underneath will be Bones Highland. And a nice job there. Actually, it could have been close to a technical foul because it looked like he reached over there. That was Doran who reached across, but instead they're going to give it right back to St. George's. They get it into McCants right in front of us on the right wing. He's looking for the cutter. He's got him. That's Millwood. Millwood kicks it back out. There's Highland from the left corner. 3, no good, and run down by Josh Thomas for Hodgson. 12-8, St. George's with a 4-point lead, 2:34 to play. And a drive down the middle by Davis, and he kicks it back out, and then thrown away by Clements. Highland has it, and he goes in strong, and they're going to call a holding foul right in front. They're going to call it on the floor, and the foul is going to be on Corey Doran. That will be his first and Hodgson's second with 2:23 to play.
All things considered, not a bad job by Doran there. You don't want to give Highland a free run to the hoop, which he was going to have. You want to foul him on the floor, not let him get the shot up.
And actually, it's the third team foul against Hodgson. That foul against McCants was the first one. St. George's inbounds. Highland's got it. He's being guarded closely by Doran and waving the defense away, hoping that he'd be able to go one-on-one. And they're going to call an offensive foul against Highland. So that might be the only way they're able to stop Bones Highland tonight.
Yeah, every now and then he makes a habit of putting that left arm out a little bit too far, and when he extends it, the referee is more likely than not to make that call.
I thought he did it one other time when they could have called it, and they didn't just because of the angle as a three-point shot is launched by Davis. It goes off the back of the rim. Comes down in the hands of McCants for St. George's, and Highland's got it, and a traveling call is going to be on Millwood as he tried to step and decided not to and drag that back foot.
You know, the game so far sort of encapsulates why St. George's is going to struggle when they get up against some of the better teams. It's because if Highland's not making things happen, sometimes, you and I talked about this off the air, sometimes it's almost like there's 4 guys standing around waiting for Highland to do something. He does all he can to get his teammates involved. They got to do a better job of finishing.
Joe Rinarelli checks in for St. George's, and we've got a number 33 who's not on any roster that we have, who is checked in for Hodgson, and he actually shoots from the right wing off the front tip of the rim. No good, and out of bounds. And they haven't made a call yet. They'd have. It is going to be off of Hodgson. It'll be St. George's ball. Checking in for St. George's is Ahmad Taylor, and he's going to check in for McCants. So St. George's with a ball and a 12-8 lead, 1:42 to play here in the first quarter.
Kind of surprising that Hodgson is keeping it as close as they are, but again, it goes to the fact that they're a really good hustling team. Toughness.
Rinarelli with a floater in the lane is good.
Rinarelli's one of those kids who can heat up. He kind of plays when he gets the opportunity, that Highland role that he played a couple of years ago to Hamrick and Rawls.
And a little bit of pressure by St. George's. That's Jeremy Kenner, and he ends up stripping the ball away. Rinarelli's got it in the middle. He gets it ahead to Highland. Bones has his man one-on-one, goes right by him, and they're going to call a foul on the floor, and I believe that foul is going to be, they're going to call another offensive foul. I was shielded there, and so that's the second offensive foul by Highland, and so with just a 6-point lead here, if you're Rod Griffin, you got to think about taking him out at this point.
I agree. We're still over a minute to go, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Checking in is Tyrese Owens, and he's going to give Highland a break, and, those were not questionable offensive fouls.
They were not.
In fact, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you watch tape, you're going to see that from Highland. He has really long arms. He's skinny. When he extends it, it's very obvious, and he does it a lot. It's a point of emphasis, it looks like, tonight.
And so Doran is trapped at midcourt, and coming away with it is Taylor for St. George's. So they've struggled against the trap. It's actually only the second turnover they have against it, but something that's clearly bothering them. Owens has it at the top of the key. Looks like he's going to be the one directing traffic. And he gets it over to Rinarelli on the left wing. They get it underneath to Wharton, who hits a driving Owens. Left-handed layup comes out, and coming down with it is Hodgson, and a trap there, and they're going to call a foul against St. George's. And so it was Corey Doran who had the ball, and he was fouled, and they're going to call that foul against Tyrese Owens, and it will be Owens' first foul, the team's third.
Unfortunate for Owens because they had Doran locked in. He wasn't going anywhere.
And a throwaway by Hodgson. You can see the frustration on Eddie Chavis as he spikes the ball, and that was Clements who just overthrew his man. And checking in for Hodgson is going to be Davis, and coming out is that mystery player number 33 who had the ball and didn't seem to be in the right position. So St. George's ball, 35 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. 14-8 lead for the Hawks as Wharton has it at the foul line. He hands it off to Taylor. Taylor getting swarmed underneath there, and they get it over to Owens. Rinarelli has it on the right wing, right back to Owens. 20 seconds left to play. Looks like Rod Griffin's just letting his team go. Rinarelli fires from right in front of us. A three is good.
Rinarelli has done that on tape. He's done it all season for the St. George's team. You can't leave him alone beyond a three, which they did down in the corner.
And so with 5 seconds to play, Hodgson having trouble against that press again, and they turn it over. So St. George's is going to have one last shot here. A 17-8 lead, 2.6 seconds to play. And it's there you can see the youth of this Hodgson team, Marty, against that press.
Absolutely. They're just panicking when they just need to take their time.
Rinarelli gets one off before the buzzer and almost goes in, but just off the front of the rim there. So that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here with St. George's holding a 17-8 lead over the Hodgson Silver Eagles. You're listening to the Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports.
American Spirit.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale,
Hodgson Votech. If you love sports and are looking for a way to give back to the community, why not give Special Olympics a try? The organization is always looking for experienced players and coaches to help coach their teams. For more information, visit SODE.org. All right, we found the mystery man. Number 33 is Quadair Barbour. So Quadair Barbour is in for Hodgson. And we are set to go here in the second quarter. It's going to be St. George's ball.
You know, if you told Coach Chavis at the end of the first quarter they'd be within 9, you'd have to say they were in good shape, but an alley-oop to start things for St. George's.
And that was an alley-oop dunk to Vashawn Wharton. His first 2 points of the game extends the lead to 19-8, and that excites the crowd, even the home crowd for Hodgson Votech. And so 19-8, 7:36 to play, just underway here in the second quarter. Hodgson having a catch with the ball. Doran is in the game along with Clements, Waller, and a jump shot there by Doran. No good from the right side. And coming down with it is St. George's. Rinarelli has it. He drives all the way to the basket. He made the shot, but they're going to say it was a foul before the shot left his hands. I think that was a good call.
It was a good call, and this is a nice little coming out party for Rinarelli tonight. He's actually picking up the slack when Highland was out at the end of the first quarter. He hit a nice three. This time he comes in and takes advantage, picks up the foul coming down the lane.
I was shielded, but I think it was Davis, and there's the inbound pass, a nice play in the curl round by Rinarelli. Gets it, lays it in, and good.
Great off-ball movement by Rinarelli to work his way around the lane.
And it is 21-8, the largest lead for Hodgson. 7:05 to play. For St. George's with 7:05 to play. And Hodgson another turnover, and that time it was Davis trying to hit his man and threw it out of bounds. And so we are starting to see the youth and inexperience of this Hodgson team despite being halfway through the season.
You know,
Mark.
not only that, but you see Rod Griffin. I'm guessing he didn't like the way they played in that first quarter. They've come out with a lot more defensive intensity.
Yeah, they started out really strong and then gave up a couple easy shots and also turned the ball over a couple times as Highland runs in and he tries a scoop shot. That's blocked away nicely by Clements. McCants gets a rebound and he gets fouled underneath. And they're going to say it was on the floor, so it'll be the 5th foul, and that foul is going to be on number 10, Terrell Clements. And checking in is Shahaki for Hodgson, and he's going to give Clements a break.
McCants and Thomas are being warned as they're jawing and elbowing each other for position. McCants does such a nice job setting up inside. He's got a big body and he uses it.
Yeah, it looks like he's got about 20 pounds on his opponent there. Nice job by Rinarelli. They tried to run that curl play underneath from under the basket. Didn't work that time. Rinarelli ran it down. And a left-handed layup, and they're going to call another offensive foul. Is this on Highland? No.
They're calling that on McCants with the clear out on Thomas. But, yeah, that time – Highland, again, extended that left arm. I was actually, you and I both were kind of wondering if they were going to get that, but McCants did at the last second. He was trying to get position inside the lane. When he saw that Highland was driving, he moved to push Josh Thomas out of the way and just was a little too physical.
And so that's the 4th foul on St. George's. Hodgson has 5, so both teams getting close to the 1-on-1, but not there yet. 6:33 to play, 21-8 St. George's. Hodgson has the ball. It's Corey Dorian. He gets it across the timeline without as much problem as they've had. They get it over to Shahaki. Shahaki with a jump shot from the foul line. Rattles around, and it's good.
Shahaki, a nice job right on time from the top of the foul line. As you said, St. George's has really ratcheted up the defensive pressure. Hodgson having a tough time finding open looks.
And there's an open look, no good by Highland off the front of the rim, and coming down with it is Doran, and he's going to go right in and lay it in the front of the rim.
Interesting, yeah. Highland took a, you have to wonder if the 2 fouls played in there. He sort of moved out of Doran's way. Doran said, I'll take that, and ran right, knocked in the layup.
And Rinarelli tries to knock it down on the other side. No good. Rebound up, and it comes off the front of the rim. And coming down with it is Shahaki. He's pushed from behind, but manages to keep his balance, and Hodgson's going to come away with it. Trailing just 21-12 now. They fought back here in the second quarter, and they're going to call traveling that time. A little bit out of control by Corey Doran.
And as you said, one of the keys to this game so far has been the youth of Hodgson and their panic as St. George's has picked up the defensive pressure. They have a tendency to throw the ball away a little quicker than they might, pick up the dribble a little quicker than they might. And these Hodgson kids, the St. George's kids, as young as they are, have enough experience, they take advantage of it.
Speaking of young, Makai Raymond, a 5'8 freshman, has checked in for Tyrese Owens. Didn't see a lot of Raymond on film.
No.
Coach Rod Griffin doing like he does well, and much you compared it to Stan Waterman. He gets young guys in games early so that they can begin to develop. McCants gets it on the left elbow, and then firing from 3 is Bones Highland. Another three-pointer, his 3rd of the day. 24-12. With lead for St. George's over Hodgson. 5:06 to play here in the second quarter.
Example of a nice screen being set by St. George's for Highland.
Haynes has it. He gives it off to Thomas. Thomas misses the left-handed layout, and it's a quick out from Wharton to Highland. Highland can't drain the 3, and it's scrum underneath, and it goes off. 2 Hodgson guys fighting over the same ball, goes out of bounds, so it's going to be St. George's ball as Donovan Whetstone will make his first appearance of the game. He checks in for Corey Doran of Hodgson, and Highland hits the freshman driving to the lane, and he is fouled. They're going to say it's underneath, so the freshman won't get to take his first free throws of the game, and that foul was on Jan Ray Davis. I have him for 1. It is the 16th foul, so St. George's will be in the 1-on-1. Nice job by the freshman setting up Highland with a right wing jumper, no good. And then with a big rebound and putback, it's McCants with his first 2 points of the game.
Unfortunately, Josh Thomas, body-wise, is no match for McCants. McCants is just muscling him out at every turn, getting great position on the offensive defensive boards.
Shahaki drives down the lane, floats one up. It gets partially blocked by McCants, but they're going to call a foul before that, and that foul is going to be on number 4, Makai Raymond. That will be his first and the team's 5th. So the ball, they're going to say Shahaki was in the act of shooting, so he is going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and this Hodgson team, one of the areas, again, a youthful team, they're not very good from the free throw line. Is Shockey. Of course, the reverse jinx works as he nails it. They're only shooting 45% as a team from the line this season. Of course, that contributes heavily to an 0-7 record, and when you're playing good teams, you've got to knock down your free throws, so nice for Shockey.
Terrell Clements checks back in for John Ray Davis. Shahaki misses the second. Rebound by Hodgson, gets kicked back out to Shahaki, and he nails the 12-footer from the right side.
We talked about Hodgson is a tough team. They're going to make you fight inside, and if St. George's falls asleep, Hodgson had some players inside who can take advantage.
Whetstone has now drawn the assignment on Highland. He drives in and dishes it off to McCants. A beautiful pass, and the conversion is McCants scores again his fourth point. 28-15, 4:05 to play here in the second quarter. St. George is the number 10 team in the state with the lead. A turnover on the other side. Ahead to Highland, and he throws it down.
Highland that time earlier, I think he wanted to do it one of the times when he stuck out the arm that you and I saw. That time he was finally able to throw down the dunk. You know, he's been waiting for that.
17 points for Highland. He averages 30.5 a game, had 50 the other night against Howard. And a jumper on the left side by Clements is no good. Tipped around, and coming down with it is Hodgson. It gets tipped around, and it is Shahaki who ends up putting it back in for the score.
Great job on the weak side there from Shahaki. The weak side rebound. No St. George's players in sight.
Rinarelli fires one from the left side. Three-pointer, no good. And nice box out there by Terrell Clements. It's going to be Hodgson ball. Checking in for Hodgson is Jordan Miller. And he's going to replace Whetstone, and I think it was also Corey Doran who checked back in for Hodgson. They get the ball across half court, and that is Jordan Miller getting his first appearance. Saw a lot of him on tape. He played a lot of minutes. I was impressed with how he took care of the ball. And a floater inside off the backboard in is good by Corey Doran.
Corey Doran, leading scorer in this team with 8 points a game. He really does a nice job providing some leadership for a very inexperienced lineup.
And he's got 8 exactly with that basket as the lead is now 11. Highland drives down the middle, floats it up, and in. Another basket. That's 19 for Bones Highland.
You know, I just have no idea how you defend that. Hodgson had perfect position, Highland up and over.
And on the other side, streaking in the middle, is Doran, and he gets it knocked away, and picking up the ball was William Haynes, and they're going to call him for traveling. Going to be St. George's ball. Checking in for St. George's is number 21, and he's going to come in for Makai Raymond.
You know, that's the inexperienced. Doran drove the lane. He found an open teammate. The teammate thought he was going to go up for the layup. He didn't. He mishandled the pass. It's a turnover.
And so St. George's has the ball. And driving is McCants in the low block and spins around and scores. So McCants has his 6th point of the quarter. All 6 of his points have come in this second frame. 34-19 as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first half. Doran on the other end trying to take things into his own hands, and he gets fouled going to the basket. I think they're going to say he was in the act of shooting, but now the referees are getting together to discuss it. We'll see what the call is and whether or not Doran will get to go to the foul line. And the call is on McCants. That's going to be his 2nd foul. Both teams are in the one-on-one situation, but I think they're called this a 2-shot foul, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Doran has done a really nice job getting to the basket, finding some seams in that St. George's defense, forcing them to foul.
And he looked like a perfect foul shot there. Checking in is going to be Kevin Payton for St. George's. He's going to come in for Rinarelli, and Josh Thomas checks in, and he's going to give Nick Shahaki, the senior, a rest. 2:09 to play, and the lead is 14 now for St. George's, 34-20, as Doran gets ready to take his 2nd foul shot. Clangs off the back of the rim, and no good. And quickly ahead to Highland. He's trying to go 1-on-3. Gets stripped from behind by Doran, and Doran's looking for help and drives down the middle, and they're going to call traveling. So, again, you can see the inexperience there by Doran.
That's it. Doran was setting up for a pass inside, but his teammates stopped, thinking he was going to take the ball to the rack by himself. He ends up getting into no man's land, forced into a travel and a turnover.
And sometimes the inexperience isn't the person that makes the turnover.
No.
It's the other players. This is a young team, as we mentioned. They graduated a lot of seniors last year as Highland takes a jumper from the left side, and as you can imagine, it's good.
Highland setting up there about 10 to 12 feet away from the basket. Got great position on Dorn. He's going to knock that down more often than not.
He's knocked it down for 21 points tonight so far. As Haynes has it, it gets blocked away by Taylor and out of bounds. And they're going to say it's St. George's ball. Checking in for St. George's is going to be Jeremy Kenner. Shahaki checks back in for Hodgson as Miller will take a seat.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who they put on. It looks like they're going to put Josh Thomas, somebody else now. They're going to put Haynes on McCants. They've tried Shahaki, they've tried Josh Thomas, and so far no answer for the big man down low.
36-20, Highlands got the ball, and his team has a big lead and launches a three-pointer off the front of the rim. No good. Hodgson comes down with the rebound with 1:10 to play here in the first half, trailing 36-20, and a hop, skip, and a jump, a foul line shot up and no good. That was by Clements, and Highland cherry picking more or less lays it in.
Yeah, Highland's done that a few times we've seen on tape where he'll kind of lay back a little bit, play possum, and when the defensive rebound comes in the hand of a St. George's player, they get the outlet out to a often wide open Highland who finishes it off.
And Hodgson has taken a 30-second timeout. Their second coming up at the half. It's the Fox Sports 1290 halftime report presented by IBEW Local 313. Beat the winter doldrums and join the Food Bank of Delaware this Saturday for their first ever indoor cornhole tournament. Bags start flying at 11 o'clock at the Food Bank's future home in Newark. Space is limited, so register today. It's either a recreation division or competitive, your choice. Cost is $50 per team, and cash prizes will be awarded. To register, visit fbd.org/cornhole. 54 seconds left to play. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. St. George's, the number 10 team in the state, has a 38-20 lead over Hodgson team that has yet to win a game. And, Marty, we've seen some good things in the improvement of Hodgson, and we've seen some areas where they struggle, and it's clear why they haven't won a game yet.
We have. The improvement is marked, though. This is definitely a different team.
And they drive down the middle. They dish it off and get fouled, and that is going to send Barbour to the line for Hodgson. Actually, it's not Barbour. That is William Haynes, a number change here. We had a couple late number changes from the lineups we were given yesterday and trying to get that straightened out. And so it's going to be Haynes who's going to go to the line and shoot two for Hodgson. First shot is up and off the back of the rim.
Again, this is one of those areas where a young team, you've got to knock down your free throws. If they're going to have any hope of winning a game this season, they're going to have to improve in that area. They really are improving there. Much more semblance of an offensive and defensive game plan being executed by these kids. Second
shot is missed also, but Thomas comes down with it. He gets it back out to the top of the key to Clements. Clements is double-teamed. He gets it to Haynes at the foul line, kicks it back out to Whetstone. He fires from three, and it is long, and coming down with it is McCants for St. George's. 30 seconds left to play. They're pressured a little bit there. They get it across the timeline. Highland is on the bench, probably because of his two fouls. And so with 20 seconds left to play, they will have to try to score without their leading scorer. Payton gets it inside to the low block to McCants. McCants is double-teamed underneath. He's trying to work it around. Gets it back out to Payton. Payton skips it across to Jeremy Kenner on the left wing. He gets around his man, but double dribbles to do so, and so it's going to be a turnover. St. George's Hodgson's going to have one last shot here, 6.7 seconds to play in the first half, and they trail 38-20 to this St. George's team, ranked number 10 in the News Journal Top 10. They get it into Clements. Clements tries to break a trap by going through it, can't, turns it over, and it's Payton who has it. He puts up a shot, and off the front of the rim, and he gets his own rebound. Actually, that's Kenner with a rebound and puts it in and good before the buzzer. So, at the half, St. George's with a 40-20 lead, double the score up here of the Hodgson Silver Eagles. Marty, your quick thoughts on the first half.
Pretty much what we expected to see. We expected to see a very disciplined St. George's team come in here, do what they needed to do. They've done that. Highland's done a nice job. He picked up some early fouls. The other guys, especially Rinarelli and McCants, have filled in nicely. For Hodgson, we've seen some flashes. They're definitely improved, but they're still making way too many mistakes, not knocking down their free throws.
So St. George's heads into the locker room with their biggest lead of the game, a 40-20 margin over Hodgson Votech. When we come back, we're going to send it back to Ronnie Vickers in the studio for our Fox Sports 1290 halftime report presented by IBEW Local 313. Once again, your halftime score, St. George's 40, Hodgson 20. This is the high school basketball game of the week on Fox Sports 1290 and 302 Sports.
Do you belong
Short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com.
Welcome to Hooters.
Gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event. We're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image you envision, we create. Think The Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think The Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor.
Lead over the Silver Eagles. I'm John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Thanks to Ronnie Vickers for that halftime report. Back in the studio. Let's go over the first half stats. As you might expect, if you know anything about this St. George's team, Bones Highland leads all scorers with 23 points, including 3 3-pointers. Does have 2 fouls, which will be interesting how that works out here early in the third quarter. He sat out the last 2 minutes or so of the first half. 7 points for Joe Rinarelli and 6 for Mike McCants, the big man in the middle. All 6 of his points coming in the second quarter. 2 for Vashon Wharton and 2 for Jeremy Kenner. His 2 were at the buzzer to close out the first half. For Hodgson, they are led by senior Corey Doran, the point guard. He has 9 points. 4 of them came in the first quarter, 5 in the second quarter. 7 points for Nick Shahaki, who came off the bench. All of his points coming in the second quarter. And then 2 points apiece for John Ray Davis and Terrell Clemens. So, Marty, the game started out, St. George's looked like they were going to run away with it, and that we were going to be in the running clock by the end of the third quarter, which would be 35-plus points. But then Hodgson stayed right in it, and they actually pulled to within 4 at one point. Or not 4, I think it was 6. When it looked like it was going to be a blowout, and then some sloppy play at the end for Hodgson allowed St. George's to extend that lead to 40-20 at the half.
I'll be honest, for the most part, I've been pretty impressed with Hodgson. They are such a different team than we saw in the pre-holiday tape. I mean, if you just take Corey Doran, for example, the senior on this team, the leader, averaging 8 points a game. He's already got 9 tonight, but more important than that, he is playing far more aggressive than he did in the games we saw before the holiday. Overall, we're seeing a lot more deliberate the way they run the offensive scheme. Before the holiday, it was a little bit more willy-nilly. There were guys all over the place. Now you can see they're starting to form a cohesive unit out there. Defensively, they've done a better job. When they're up against a kid like Highland and McCants, it's so difficult because they just don't have the talent or the size right now. But they're really making St. George's work for everything.
Same starters to start the second half. The start of the game for Hodgson will be Davis, Clements, Doran, Waller, and Haynes. Rinarelli will start for St. George's along with Ahmad Taylor, McCants, Highland, Owens, And we'll get that last number for you in a second. And up and no good to start the second half. And a turnover, it's going to be St. George's ball.
That was a case again where Doran looked like he wanted to do something with the ball, but everyone else just sort of stood still. It allowed Rinarelli to reach in and pull the ball away, forced Doran into an uncomfortable situation.
Got all 5 of the starters. Actually, I thought I only named 4. Got all 5. Highland has it. He goes behind the back to the foul line, kicks it over to Rinarelli, and he launches a 3 from the left wing. It's good.
You know, we talked about before the game that they needed somebody to step up and become that secondary weapon in Deshaun Highland. Rinarelli has really shown a lot tonight that he could maybe be that other guy to provide the scoring punch.
Only a sophomore. He's got 10 points, comes in averaging 6 points. Driving to the basket as Davis scoops it up with the left hand, and McCants comes down with the rebound, and he whips it ahead quickly to Highland, who throws up a 3 from the right wing off the back of the rim. Owens with the rebound, gets swatted away from him. Rinarelli on the floor with one of the Hodgson players. I'm shielded right now, and they're going to call a jump ball. And it looked like on the ground was Terrell Clements. And it's going to be St. George's ball. They're going to inbound it under their own basket. They're in the blue uniforms, top to bottom, with the green trim. Hodgson in the all-white uniforms, the maroon. And a steal by Clements on the inbounds, and he drives in, puts it up with the right hand, and falls through. It's good. So 2 points there for Hodgson, 43-22.
Great body control by Clements on that breakaway steal. Rinarelli played nice defense. Clements went up, shifted his way a little bit, and was able to get into his right hand, go up for the 2.
Highland gets it into McCants into the lane, and he makes a move, and he gets fouled inside. That foul is going to be called against Jaden Waller. That will be his 3rd. They're going to call a reach before the shot. Actually, he never got a shot up, but he was spinning ready to shoot, and the ball is going to be underneath. So, again, the 3rd foul there against Jaden Waller.
Jaden Waller now the 4th different guy that they've tried to cover Mike McCants with. It's just very difficult.
Rinarelli gets it in the corner. He gives it to a driving Highland, and Highland goes up with it, and is fouled. Looks like he got banged a little bit, little trouble getting up, but he manages to get up, and the foul is going to be against Corey Doran of Hodgson, his 2nd, and Highland is going to head to the foul line, a 72% free throw shooter.
Doran, it was actually a tough play. He had really nice position on Highland, but he backed away at the last second, enabling him to call the blocking foul.
Highland's first shot is up and good. He's 56-78 coming into the game. And checking in for Hodgson is going to be Josh Thomas, the junior, and he's going to spell sophomore Jaden Waller, who will have a seat. 44-22, 6:38 to play here in the 3rd quarter. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Highland's 2nd foul shot is up, and it is good. 25 points for the 6'4 junior. Comes in averaging 30.5 a game. And Doran throws it away after being trapped, and Taylor comes down with it in the backcourt. He gets it to Highland. Highland with the left hand goes back to his right, floats it up, and it is good in the foul.
Highland that time with a little stutter step play. He put on Doran before making his way to the basket. Just he keeps the ball under control with his dribble. He's able to do so much. He's got that lanky 6'4 frame. He can get you turning one way, moving another way, and then he's blown past you and up for the bucket.
Donovan Whetstone, the sophomore, checks in for Hodgson, and he's going to spell Corey Doran. And Doran is going to have a seat after picking up his 2nd foul. Highland's shot is up and good, so a perfect 3 for 3. He now has 27 points as St. George's extends its lead to 48-22. A full court press, and dribbling through it is Davis, and he dishes it off to Haynes, up and good.
Really nice job by Davis to keep himself under control. The dish off under the basket. They got nice position on McCants down low for the 2 points.
And Rinarelli from the left corner off the front of the rim, and Highland follows it up and scores.
Great job of getting in the lane. Highland doesn't often get in on the offensive glass. That time he did. No one boxed him out.
And driving right down the middle and then dishing it off is Davis. It's up and good by Thomas.
A really nice job by Thomas coming down the lane. That time he was able to do what McCants had done to him all game. He got positioned down low, worked his way around McCants, and then picked up the little cheap foul with the N1.
And so Thomas will head to the foul line. As we mentioned in the first half, Hodgson struggling from the foul line, just 45%. We don't have the individual stats. The lefty Thomas puts it up off the back of the rim. McCants comes down with it, and he whips it ahead to Highland. Highland goes right past Davis in between his legs, puts it up off the glass. Coming down with it is Taylor, and it gets kicked around. And Davis has it again. Davis all over the floor, but then he is stripped by Highland, and Rinarelli gets it, gives it back to Highland, and they're going to call a foul as Highland got past the guard. The foul is going to be on Davis, his third. So I've got Doran on the bench with 3, and I've got Davis on the bench with 3.
All of a sudden,
they just
called a bench warning on Hodgson there for the coach coming out of the box. I think Highland was a little upset. He got nailed twice on that last possession and no call.
And a nice inbound, and this one's an easy one for Highland. A right-handed layup on the left side. Rinarelli did a nice job of finding it.
Wow, Jalray Davis had responsibility for Highland. He just fell asleep on the inbound play. Highland blew right past him for the easy 2.
It's over his average now with 32 as Hodgson gets it. 5 minutes to play, trailing 52-26. 2 cross-court passes. It ends up in Clemens' hand. Haynes goes around McCants, makes a nice curl bounce pass, and then it is stripped away by Highland. And Highland again goes in the left side, this time with the left hand.
And Highland could be just as good with his right or left hand. The kid plays ambidextrous. That's tons of work, hours of work in the gym. He's done a great job improving that left hand. And St. George's on a big run here to start the third quarter.
And so 54-26 as Eddie Chavez takes his third timeout of the game, a full timeout. 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. It gives me a chance to tell you that Incognito Productions is the premier sports filming company in Delaware, shooting, editing, and creating sports films for teams and individuals. Incognito has you covered with recruitment and game films, plus team documentary-style highlight films and posters. See for yourself the top quality of Incognito Productions by heading to nknfilms.com today. If you love sports and are looking for a way to give back to the community, why not give Special Olympics a try? The organization is always looking for experienced players and coaches to help coach their teams. For more information, visit SODE.org. And so a good run here, Marty, by St. George's. Highland, of course, lighting things up. He's already got 11 points here in the second half, 34 on the game, 3 above his 30-point average coming in. And so he continues to show why he has to be the leading scorer in the state. I don't know that officially, but I would think.
I can't pick you. No, we look at a lot of box scores. We see a lot of tape. I don't see anybody scoring at the pace of Nishan Highland, and they're really taking advantage of the inexperience here in the second half so far, causing a lot of turnover, wreaking a lot of havoc on Hodgson.
And St. George's comes out on a full-court trap and a foul in the backcourt. They're going to call Owens as Hodgson did a nice job getting the ball to Davis, who was streaking up the middle. And so the foul is going to be on Tyrese Owens. That will be his second. And just Hodgson's first foul in the second half. Checking in for St. George's is Oliver Millwood, and he's going to check in for Tyrese Owens as Hodgson will inbound the ball. They're heading left to right as you're seeing it on 302 Sports. They're coming at us here on the radio side. Davis drives in, tries to dish off unselfishly. He was trying to hit a slicing Haynes, but the ball got knocked out of bounds by St. George's. It's going to stay Hodgson ball, the inbound underneath right in front of us. And it is Davis, and he whips it over to Clemens. Clemens drives down the middle, floats one up, doesn't go in, but he is fouled, so he's going to head to the foul line. And I was shielded by the ref. I believe the foul was on Ahmad Taylor, number 12 for St. George's, and that is going to send Terrell Clemens to the foul line, shooting 2. First one is off the back of the rim, no good. He's got 4 points, 2 in each half, trying to get his 5th with his team trailing 54-26, 4:49 to play.
Yeah, Terrell Clemens has been one of Hodgson's better three-point shooters throughout the season. He's been held in check tonight. They've just been all over him. Corey Dorn is the only one who's been able to get untracked for Hodgson.
Second foul shot, no good either. Taylor comes down with the rebound, hands it off to Highland. Highland streaks the other way on the left side, a ankle-breaking move, and lays it in.
Nishan Highland there. I mean, it's just amazing to watch these moves. We couldn't make these moves without anything in our hand. This kid is dribbling from his left hand to his right hand and back again, putting on all these little wiggle moves, doing the electric slide. It looks like out there as he zooms past some of these guys. Just he's putting the full display of skills out for everybody tonight.
30-point lead now for St. George's. Doran checks out. Whetstone checks in. Actually, the opposite of that. Doran checks in, and he gets Highland top of the key. Doesn't matter. Highland drains a three from the top of the key.
That's what we talked about, the range. He'll take it from anywhere, and if you don't stick a hand in his face, he's going to put it up.
Streaking to the other side is Davis. He puts it up no good, but he's fouled, so he will head to the foul line. 59-26, and that foul is going to be on Ahmad Taylor. I have him for 3, and the team's 4th. So both have 4 fouls, both teams, that is. And it's Davis who heads to the foul line to shoot 2.
And again, a big area of improvement. They're getting the ball to the hole, which they weren't able to do against teams early in the season as Davis hits his first free throw. A lot more aggressive on the offensive end, forcing St. George's into some situations where they're picking up cheap fouls that they normally otherwise wouldn't.
LaShawn Wharton, the 6'6 junior, checks in for Taylor, who has a seat with 3 fouls. Davis's second shot is up off the back of the rim, and a nice rebound there hauled in by Oliver Millwood. He gets it to Highland. Highland goes behind his back and then flips it, and Rinarelli keeps it from going out of bounds, and back to Millwood. Millard hits a streaking Highland, but it gets tipped away nicely by the Silver Eagles, and it's Doran doing a little bit too much dribbling. He gets knocked away. Clemens gets it, and they're both on the ground here, and it looks like they're going to call a foul. I didn't see the number.
It looked like they called the foul on Rinarelli as he went to the floor to try to force a held ball. They called the foul on him. He kind of dove and jumped right into the ball handler for Hodgson.
Yeah, there were several guys in that pile that they probably could have called the foul on. So Rinarelli gets it. That's his first, the team's 5th. And Clemens has it right in front of us. He gives it to Davis. Davis drives in, almost goes out of bounds. A nice save by Clemens, and then they get it back to Davis underneath. He hands it off to Thomas, misses the left-handed layup, gets his own rebound, and puts it back in.
Thomas, a great job of fighting there with McCants down low. He got great position on McCants, was able to control the rebound, put it back up and in.
30-point lead here for St. George's, 3:25 to play in the third quarter. Highland has it. He gets it into the high post to McCants. A pump fake spin move inside, a la Kevin McHale. No good. Gets his own rebound, and they're going to call him for traveling. Nice defensive effort there by Hodgson.
That's a much better job by Josh Thomas down low on McCants. That's twice now in this half where he's been able to take advantage of his lankier side a little bit faster than McCants is, being able to set up position down low. And that time, McCants, when he turned around, ran right into Josh Thomas. So a nice job defensively, a little pick up the pace there for Josh Thomas.
Jaden Waller checks in for Josh Thomas, and Hodgson turns it over. Highland ends up with it, drives in, scoops it up and in with his left hand.
And that time he changed from the right to the left hand in midair and went up and off the glass.
Drive inside, swatted away by Wharton. The next shot is up and good. Nice recovery there by Doran, his first 2 points of the second half.
Doran, nice job there to pick up the pieces and drain that just when Hodgson needed a big bucket.
Highland a 3 from the other side, comes out, McCants gets the rebound, puts it up, and misses, but he is fouled on the play, and so St. George's best free throw shooter will head to the foul line to shoot 2.
You know, you have to say Hodgson is taking St. George's best shot here. They're falling by the wayside a bit as we've now hit the 30-point mark, a lead they've held for a couple minutes now, but they've done a nice job forcing St. George's to employ all their offensive tactics to build this lead. So Hodgson still can walk away from this game. We're still in the third quarter, but with a 30-point lead, St. George is looking pretty good. Hodgson has some things to take, some steps there of improvement they've made again tonight.
And McCants makes it a 31-point lead, making his first. Came into the game a 74% free throw shooter. Missed both his free throws in the first quarter. He's now got 7 points and makes the second, so 8 points on the night for McCants as St. George's extends its lead to 62-31, a 31-point, 63, the scoreboard just changed, 63-31. 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Hodgson rips it around. Haynes has it in the low post, working against McCants, gets a shot up, but it's long, scooped around, back in Haynes' hand, up and good.
Haynes doing a really good job down low again. That's another example where he just kind of out-muscled McCants, which we didn't see them do in the first half at all.
So the lead is back to 30 for St. George's. Highland has the ball. He's being covered out front by Corey Doran. Highland dribbling back and forth between his legs, drives down the middle, puts it up and in. This guy is just fun to watch.
He is. I mean, that time he dribbled 10 to 12 times from his left to right hand before finally deciding to take the inside track on Doran and going up for the easy two.
Doran has it on the other side, being covered by Millwood. Doran goes right past him. He gets it over into the corner to Davis. Davis floats one up and in.
Davis, a really nice job. That's a couple times we've seen that teardrop shot from the Hodgson players, or something they're clearly working on in practice.
1:32 to play. St. George's with the ball, moving right to left. The all-blue uniforms with the green trim. Highland's got it with a 30-point lead. He's being covered by Doran. And did he step over the half-court line? I'm not sure what the ref called. He called something. And either Highland is checking out, checking in is Kevin Payton, but Highland was due to check it out anyway, so it wasn't anything that he did there. Also checking in is Jeremy Kenner. He'll give Rinarelli a rest for St. George's. So that was either a backcourt violation or a 5-second violation. I'm not sure which one. As the shot goes up, no good. And the foul is going to be on number 30 of Hodgson. That is William Haynes. I have him down for 2. And it's St. George's ball underneath as Oliver Millwood inbounds to Kevin Payton.
Yeah, we've all of a sudden got some sloppy play here in the last 30 seconds from both teams. Rod Griffin recognizing that, he's going to call a timeout, try to settle things down.
Yeah, we're going to keep it right here. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, 1:11 to play. St. George's has a 65-35 lead. Highland on the bench. I'm sure Rod Griffin just wants to go over what exactly he wants to see his team do during this last minute and 11.
Yeah, this is one of those tough situations. You have a 30-point lead over a team. You don't want to see your team get sloppy. You've got to remind them that there are bigger things to play for this season. They can't take anyone lightly. This is where you got to keep the pressure up, work on things, maybe some areas where you need improvement. You just don't want to see the intensity drop, because what can happen is all of a sudden you walk away with a 30-point win, but you don't feel as good as you did because you really got lackadaisical in the last quarter, let the other team get some easy ones. So Rod Griffin won't allow that.
Bones Highland's on the bench. I have him unofficially with 43 points. Actually, he's back off the bench. So I thought he was going to be on the bench till the end of the half. And they set up a play for Highland. He gets a wide-open jumper on the screen, top of the key. Misses, but Wharton with a nice rebound inside. Can't put it down. And coming away with Hodgson, they get it over to blocked away by Wharton, and that shot was by Doran. He has it back, and he's going to launch a three from the right side. Air ball and brought down by St. George's. A nice job by Kenner, and they're going to call a foul. It's going to be St. George's ball. And a good foul there. You don't want things to get out of control. Hodgson starting to show a little frustration on some of these fouls. St. George's trying to make sure they're keeping things under control on their own end. Yeah, Highland, I'm surprised to see him back in for the last minute of the third quarter, but again, I know Coach Griffin is working toward bigger things here. You want to make sure you get your guys, especially with all these teams that have had snow outs and they've missed practice, so some of these games are serving as practice for a lot of teams. It's the first time they've been on the floor for more than a couple days in a row in a month. Payton and Owen check in for Highland and McCants, and I was going to point out, as heading to the line is Jeremy Kenner to shoot a one-on-one. He misses that, and it's going to be Hodgson's ball, as it is Doran who brings it up. He gets it over to the left wing to Clements. They work it around, and Shahaki's back in, and a drive by Haynes blocked away by St. George's. Wharton comes down with it and gets it off to Owen. St. George's has it with 20 seconds left to play, and it looks like Rod Griffin is trying to set up a play. And Owens has it. He's working it around, and he's trying to get it to Wharton. A nice job by the Hodgson defense, and a steal there by Hodgson. That was Waller. Comes away with it. He gets it ahead, and it ends up in the hands of Shahaki, who puts it up, and it's good. Shahaki, a great use of the glass there, as he had to put that more than 3/4 away up the glass to get that to fall. But a great job of defensive pressure by Hodgson. Boy, I tell you what, they get down by 30, but you just don't see a drop in the hustle and the determination from these kids. Makai Raymond, the freshman, checks back in for Tyrese Owen for the final 4 seconds of the third quarter here. Shahaki's shot is up and good. 10 points on the night for the senior. St. George's has it. 3 seconds left to play, and it's Payton who's got it in his hands. He puts it up from 3, rattles off the rim, and no good. So that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. St. George's Tech, a 65-38 lead over the Hodgson Silver Eagles here on Fox Sports 1290 and 302 Sports.
Picture this. It's Monday afternoon.
trust. Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area.
Ask DE to open an account.
Delaware High School basketball is on iHeartRadio Fox Sports 1290.
Welcome back to Hodgson Votech, where St. George's is going to open up the fourth quarter with a 65-38 lead over the Hodgson Silver Eagles. Hodgson looking for their first win of the season. St. George's trying to pick up their 8th win of the season. Highland leads all scorers with 43 points. He's on the floor along with Rinarelli and Taylor, Wharton, and McCants for St. George's here. Starting out on defense as Hodgson has it. They work it around. Miller back in and throws it away. Ball skips up and now Miller ends up with it underneath. Pump fakes it. Trying to get it over to Shahaki. Very unselfish. Probably should have just gone up with that. Gets tipped out of bounds. Going to stay Hodgson ball as Clements checks in for Miller.
That's right. One of those cases where you can be a little too unselfish. That time Shahaki probably should have just gone up with the shot, tried to feed off to a teammate who he thought had a better angle. Gets knocked away by St. George's, who's still keeping up the pressure here in the fourth quarter with 27-point lead.
Clements is going to inbounds. He gets it over to Shahaki. Highland tips it out of bounds into the crowd, but it's going to stay St. George's ball.
And I think anybody who's at the game and may say, why are all these guys for St. George's, the starters, still in? Again, I'd go back to my point of all the snow and ice and all the missed practices and games. This is good. Both these teams need these games.
Clements gets it into the middle. Shahaki, he tries to go up with it, gets swatted away. Hodgson comes back down with it. A nice job by Haynes. He has it at the right elbow, puts it up and far off to the left. And coming down with the rebound is Wharton for St. George's.
Wharton is kind of one of those underrated St. George's players. Does a really nice job on the board, 6'6".
Highland gets it in the middle. McCants makes a nice move, goes off the glass and out, but a rebound by St. George's. That was Taylor who pulled it down, and they're going to call a foul underneath. And actually, they're going to just say it was out of bounds, going to be St. George's ball.
One of the things you see from McCants, and one of the things he's probably going to work on over the summer, I'm sure, is he gets great position, but quite often he misses, isn't able to finish down low.
Rinarelli finds Highland in the left corner, and he buries a three-pointer. 46 points now, unofficially, for Bones Highland. A 68-38 lead for the St. George's Hawks. And on the turnover by Hodgson, and that was Clemens trying to hit Haynes. Nice idea, just didn't execute.
Yeah. Again, that's something they'll get better at as the season wears on, and next season, of course.
30-point lead. Highland drives right down the middle, puts it up, and is hammered, and he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot two. And the foul is going to be on number 10 for St. George's. That's Terrell Clements. I have him for two. And they are in the 1-on-1, but this is going to be a two-shot, foul shot opportunity for Highland.
Sort of one of those weird occasions where the Red Sea just kind of parted there.
Yeah.
Highland was able to find his way straight to the basket. Everybody kind of looked at each other like, I thought you were picking him up.
He makes the first, extends the lead to 31 now. St. George's a 69-38 lead. They scored 80 against Howard the other night, their highest output of the season, as Highland makes the second. He now has 48 points. And a steal by St. George's on the inbounds. Rinarelli is going to try from three in the left corner. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Rinarelli, this is such a great game for him. This is going to give him so much confidence again, come that second scoring piece.
And we should be at a running clock right now as Haynes gets hammered on the foul shot, or on the layup, I should say. He will go and shoot a foul shot. According to the rules that we looked up, Marty, we're at the 35-point mark in the fourth quarter. It should be a running clock, and that is exactly what the referee just told him.
There you go. Yep. Johnny on top of it. The referee a little late to the party there, but finally got it started. Now, as we both understand it, Hodgson would have to get it to 25 or under for that running clock to stop.
Right, unlike football where the running clock, as Barbour is going to check in, and he's going to check in for Terrell Clements. In football, as soon as you get to that running clock point, if the other team scores, the clock stops.
Yes.
It goes back in basketball, and I think it's a good move. Otherwise, you'd be starting and stopping the clock.
I agree.
And his second foul shot is up and good for Haynes, so makes 1 of 2. 73-39, John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. St. George's with a commanding lead over Hodgson as Highland drives to the basket, is fouled, falls away, and nails it.
He's just incredible, and he's only going to get better. It's so obvious this kid has spent hundreds of hours in the gym working on these moves because he just makes it look so smooth, so easy. And I believe, as you said, he's at 50 points now. Is that correct? Which
50.
means he's at 103 points over his last 2 games as he went for 53 against Howard on Tuesday night. So pretty good week for Nishan Highland.
And he nails that to give him 51. He's a perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. Thomas is going to check in for Hodgson. Not sure who he's coming in for now. It is Jaden Waller who heads to the bench. So with 5:05 running clock here, 76-39 lead. And unless Hodgson goes on a run here, it's going to stay a running clock until the end. It doesn't stop running until the team that's down gets within 25 points. Barbour tries to get it in. He turns it over. A nice job by Rinarelli to Highland, who throws it down.
Highland with his second dunk of the night. Again, Rinarelli, a great outlet pass to Highland, and St. George's just has everything clicking right now.
And that gives Highland, I believe, unofficially 53, ties with his season high. As Marty has mentioned a couple times, he had 53 against Howard the other night. A steal by Highland, going for his season high. He pulls it back out, rips it underneath the Rinarelli. Rinarelli fires from 3, out off the front of the rim. It ends up back in Highland's hand from Wharton, and that is good.
Highland is just feeling it. I mean, when he lets these go and the whole gym knows these shots are going in, his confidence level is just off the charts right now.
Doran has it at the top of the key. Him and Barbour are playing catch with it. It ends up back in Doran's hands. He gets it inside to Shahaki. Up and no good, tip around. And coming down with it, out of bounds is Taylor. A nice tip job there by Shahaki for Hodgson, who got it back. Ball coming right at us. A nice save there by the 302 Sports crew. And checking in back in for Hodgson is going to be Jaden Waller. He's going to spell Thomas. And Coach Chavez still coaching, even at this point in the game, and that's what you do with a young team that is struggling, as Hodgson's going to pick up its 8th loss of the season with yet to get a win. Shahaki inbounds, and it is Doran who's going to fire from the foul line. It's good.
And some positives to take away from this game tonight for Hodgson. Doran is one of them. He's done a really nice job asserting himself, taking over the leadership role of the team, and doing a nice job driving the lane, making things happen.
Highland with the ball, driving down the middle, puts it up with the right hand off the left side of the rim. No good, but I believe he gets his own rebound, puts it up, and they're going to call foul. It's not going to be a shooting foul, but it will be 1-1, so Highland will head to the line and shoot a pair as the clock runs. We're at the 3-minute mark, and I was shielded by the ref. I can't tell. We're back here on the baseline, so it's tough for us to see unless the ref looks almost right at us and makes the call. And they're not putting up the individual players on the scoreboard. They're just putting up the team fouls, and that is the 10th foul on Hodgson in the second half as Highland makes the first, and he will shoot the second end of a 1-and-1.
And I'm guessing these had to be a career high Tuesday and then tonight for Highland with Lamar Hamrick and Kyson Rawls the last 2 years. I don't recall, I can't imagine he scored more than 53 points with Kyson Rawls on the team in the last season.
Either. Makai Raymond and Jameer Mitchell check in as he makes the second. So Highland is perfect from the free throw line tonight, a perfect 8 of 8. 2:12 to play here, 83-41. Barbour fires from 3 and nails it from the right side.
Nice job for Barbour, the kid we didn't have a number for earlier, making his presence known. Anything helps for Hodgson right now, anything to get a little confidence going as they leave here. And we've probably seen the last of Highland for the night as he's just checked out at that last stoppage.
He has checked out, and checking in, as I mentioned, was Mitchell, who drives to the basket, puts it off the glass. No good. It comes back out, worked around. And ending up with it on the left side driving baseline is Millwood, and he is fouled, and so he's going to head to the foul line. That foul, I happen to see the ref that time, is on Quadair Barbour. That will be his first foul, and Oliver Millwood will head to the line to shoot 2. Hasn't shot many foul shots, if any at all, because I didn't bother writing the stats down, Marty.
No, Millwood, not many outside of McCants and Highland, not many foul shots for the St. George's team on the season.
First shot off the front left side of the rim, so a miss, and he will take a second. Shahaki checks out. Coming in for him is Terrell Clements. 1 minute to play here. running clock. St. George's with an 83-44 lead. The second shot by Millwood is up and good. His first points on the night. Under a minute to play. Hodgson with the ball, trailing by 40, 84-44. Clemens has it. He gets it over, and the floater is no good by Waller. And coming down with the ball, Waller got his own rebound. And they're pointing at Waller, but I think he's going to be shooting. The foul. It looked like the foul is on Tyrese Owens. That will be his third. Really irrelevant at this point because it looks like the clock may even run out here with Jaden Waller on the foul line. 25 seconds left to play. I'm sure he has to finish his foul shots. He misses the first, so it's going to be irrelevant because it was a 1-on-1. And Hodgson has it, and that is Makai Raymond who gets called for traveling, trying to break out of the trap. 12 seconds to play. Hodgson's going to try to get one shot up, it looks like. And they inbound it to Doran. Appropriate that he would have the ball for them. And he puts up a three, and it's good. So the one of the few good things that happened for Hodgson tonight on the scoring column was that three-pointer by Doran there at the end. And that is going to bring us to the end of this game here at Hodgson. St. George is the number 10 team in the state with a commanding 84-47 victory over a Hodgson team that now falls to 0-8. Coming up, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show with locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover. Visit AmericanSpirit.org. We will hope to get Coach Rodney Griffin on with us. We'll have our Crown Trophy player of the game and look ahead to our next game. Once again, your final score from Hodgson, it's St. George's 84, Hodgson 47 here on Fox Sports 1290 and 302 Sports.
American Spirit Federal Credit Union brings you
Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's a catchy word.
Come away with a commanding and dominating 84-47 victory over the Hodgson Silver Eagles, who fall to 0-8. St. George's ups its record to 8-4. I'm John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Joining me is head coach Rod Griffin and Bones Highland. And Bones, we're going to let you rest. You've got to be tired after scoring all those points. So I'm going to start with Coach Griffin here. And Coach, your team, we talked a lot about the weather. We talked a lot about the practice time. We were supposed to do another one of your games. We couldn't do. You have to be pleased with how your team came out. And despite them playing a team that is obviously struggling, a program that is struggling, this is not an easy place to play, and your team came in here and made sure like they were playing against a team that was undefeated, not a team that hadn't won yet.
You're absolutely right, John. I challenged them to not let this be a trap game where we come in after playing our other rival game against Howard in a very intense environment at St. George's, and we came in here, still a rivalry game, and I thought we had some great moments tonight. Bones was special. Our defense, we still got to work a little bit on that because I think we got away with some things that we'll talk about to get better. But we had some intense practices, and purposely we made sure that our practices were very intense and that the game should translate like the practice. And I'm very proud of the guys tonight and the effort that they left on the floor.
Bones, I've got you unofficially with 58 points. You had 53 against Howard. That's 111 points. I could probably stand in this gym by myself without a defense for the next 3 hours and not score 111 points. How did the game come to you tonight?
It comes to me a little easy because like when you work out in the gym for these type of games, it just comes naturally to you easy. So I mean, the hard work is obviously playing off. You can sit on the court, so it's just when I'm out there, I'm just having fun.
How important is it for you, despite when you score so many points, to still keep your teammates involved? Because when you watch this game and you sit back and watch it, you might say, well, geez, all Hyla must have done is shoot. That's not the case. Mm-hmm. You had a lot of plays on defense. You created a lot of plays. A lot of the shots you got were layups and wide open shots that anybody would have to take no matter how many points they had. How do you keep your teammates involved?
I keep my teammates involved by, when I'm driving to the lane, I'm getting, they're basically helping, so I'm kicking out, or if the big men step up, I'm dropping it off to my big man. I'm just trusting in my teammates at the right moments.
Coach, you always seem to find a player to step up. It was Lamar Hamrick, and then he transferred, and you had Kyson Rawls. Kyson Rawls graduates, and here you have Bones Highland. How are you able to motivate players like Bones to be patient and wait their turn?
Well, when we get guys with a lot of talent like Bones, we give them opportunity early on. He's been on the varsity since the freshman, and we work hard. We try to get him to work on his skill, and he puts in a lot of work in practice, and he challenges his teammates. And, I told him over the summer, I said, hey, this team is your team, and I gave him some expectations for the team and some individual things I wanted him to do, and he's always challenging the team. So it's now his time to shine, and you can see the maturation on the court and the classroom, and his recruiting is picking up because he's doing all the right things.
That's great.
And I'm very proud of him.
And that's no surprise playing for you, Coach. You've run a class program in the 5 years you've been there. Not only do you get to the Bob Carpenter Center, you get there the right way. And we talk about that all the time. So, Coach Rod Griffin will let you go, and Bones will let you hit the showers. Like I said, you got to be tired after scoring all those points. So, congratulations to both of you. We'll see you down the road.
Hey, thank you very much.
Coach Rod Griffin and Bones Highland, who finished up with 58 points tonight to lead the St. George's Hawks to an 84-47 win over Hodgson. When we come back, we'll announce our Crown Trophy Player of the Game and talk about next week's game. You're listening to the High School Basketball Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports.
People's Plaza.
Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools...
here in 1 hour and 20 minutes because of the running clock for the majority of the fourth quarter. St. George's, the number 10 team in the Wilmington News Journal poll, an 84-47 winner over Hodgson. Hodgson falls to 0-8. St. George's improves its record to 8-4. Those 4 losses coming against a very tough team. Your stats for tonight, we mentioned it already in talking to Bones Highland. He finishes with 58 points for St. George's to go with his 53 against Howard the other night. 111 points over the last 2 games. Joe Rinarelli pitched in with 13. He had 6 in the second half to reach the 13-point mark. Mike McCants with 8 points, all in the second and third quarters. 2 points apiece for Vashawn Wharton and Jeremy Kenner off the bench, and Oliver Millwood picked up a point late on a foul shot. For Hodgson, they were led by point guard Corey Doran, who poured in 16 points for the Silver Eagles. Also in double digits was Nick Shahaki. So the 2 seniors leading this young and inexperienced team in scoring tonight. John Ray Davis and William Haynes, the sophomores, with 5 points apiece. Terrell Clements and Josh Thomas, the juniors, 4 points apiece, and 3 points for Quadra Barbeau, who came off the bench and scored those 3 in the fourth quarter. All right, it's now time to name our Crown Trophy player of the game. Crown Trophy right around the corner here in Glasgow and also up in Wilmington have always been proud supporters of Fox Sports 1290 and the student athletes in the state of Delaware. Visit Crown Trophy for all the best in trophies, and make sure to check out their Varsity Letter sports balls, one of their newest additions to their wonderful inventory. Continuing with the Crown Trophy tradition, each player of the game this season will win a customized Crown Trophy award plaque, and the school will receive one as well for its trophy case. Visit crowntrophy.com. Marty, the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, for Hodgson fans, there is hope. Coach Eddie Chavez has got his kids playing hard, tough, determined basketball. Corey Doran, the senior, did a really nice job tonight. These kids are getting better. For St. George's and Coach Griffin, I thought Mike McCants, Joe Rinarelli both had really strong games. But let's face it, tonight and this week really, and much of this season has been about Nishan Highland. He is becoming in the one of those talents in Delaware, like a Dante DiVincenzo, like a Mikey Dixon, a guy that people hear the name Bones or Nishan, they know exactly who you're talking about. You know what you're going to get every time he steps on the floor. I mean, tonight, even though they were playing an opponent that's down, he turned up his game even that much more. As I heard during the interview, he is able to get his teammates involved. It's not just about the scoring, and I'm glad you mentioned that when he was out here. He does so many things for this team defensively, rebounding the ball. He's got some really nice assists. But when they need to heat up and they need to get some quick points on the board, he's the guy to do it. 58 tonight, a new career highs. I confirmed with Coach Griffin that 53 on Tuesday was, in fact, his career high. An amazing week and what continues to be an amazing career for Nishan Highland. For those reasons and for everything he's going to do later, he is our Crown Trophy player of the game tonight.
So congratulations to Bones Highland. We're going to see them play Concord on January 30th. Not sure if we should maybe wait and deliver both plaques at the same time.
That's right.
Just the way this guy scores. And, you mentioned, Marty, he is a guy that, you'll probably tell your brother, Michael, you need to come see this kid play.
That's it.
No matter who they're playing. If you have a chance, come watch this kid play. And that's just the type of player that he is. And, he plays the same game. We watched several of their games on film, and he plays the same on every single game.
It doesn't matter who they're playing.
So it's not like he's tricking people.
No.
He's showing up and he's playing the way he always plays. So both of these teams, speaking of playing, are going to get right back at it on Saturday. Hodgson heads to Georgetown to tip off against Sussex Tech at 1 o'clock. St. George's plays at Newark High at 2:15. That's a makeup game, one that we were supposed to do, and it got snowed out and aren't able to do it tomorrow. Our next Fox Sports 1290 broadcast is on Tuesday when the Glasgow Dragons take on Caravel Academy. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock, and we'll be on the air at 6:45 with the Fox Sports 1290 pregame show. Caravel Academy, a top 10 team, and Glasgow, an 8-2 team on the rise. Yes. Jeremy John has done a wonderful job with that program. All right, that's going to do it for this evening from the outskirts of Newark, Delaware. Thanks to our producer back in the studio, Ronnie Vickers, for keeping us up and running on the radio side, and to the crew of 302 Sports here on site producing the live stream. For Marty Sheehan, I'm John Busby. Once again, your final score, St. George's 84, Hodgson 47. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, good night from Hodgson Votech High School.
This has been the Delaware High School basketball.
All right, Ronnie, great job.